New bombshell: Epstein files have been uncovered by the Democrats in the House Oversight Committee. They are led by the ranking member, Robert Garcia. Democratic Congressmember Garcia has been incredibly focused on bringing to light the Epstein files, despite the MAGA Republicans trying to block it each step of the way. The House Oversight Democrats just reported on their findings that they got based on these subpoenas that they've been issuing. This is what the post was from the House Oversight Democrats. New documents from Epstein's estate detailing his daily schedule. They show meetings with Steve Bannon, Peter Thiel, and a potential visit to Epstein's Island for Elon Musk. Prince Andrew is listed as a passenger on Epstein's jet. DOJ must release the Epstein files now. Now, this batch of documents does not come from the Department of Justice. You'll recall the Department of Justice just turned over 33,000, not just, they turned over only 33,000 documents that were the old files that were produced a long time ago with nothing new at all. There remains about 3 to 4 terabytes that actually constitutes the Epstein files, with the witness interviews, the surveillance footage, the FBI investigative reports, all of that stuff, which they are hiding, which we know Donald Trump's name is all over based upon what Attorney General Pam Bondi had told Donald Trump back in May. But this is a massive cover-up, of course, going on by Donald Trump's White House. Trump's White House said that it is a hostile political act for anybody in the Republican Party to help the Democrats bring to light the Epstein files. He said it would be a hostile act for any Republican to sign the so-called discharge petition, which has been circulated by Democratic Congressmember Ro Khanna and Republican Congressmember Thomas Massie, which is about to have its 218th signature, which is the requisite amount needed to force a vote on the House floor to release the Epstein files. Adelita Grijalva, she is the new Congresswoman-elect from Arizona's 7th Congressional District, just won by more than 40 points in a special election that just took place again in Arizona. She said she's going to Capitol Hill to try to avoid a government shutdown on Monday, which the Republicans and Donald Trump want. But she said she will sign that discharge petition right away for the release of the Epstein files. Now, notably, MAGA Mike Johnson has canceled the workdays of Congress for next Monday and Tuesday, September 29th and September 30th. MAGA Mike has canceled the days of work, saying Republicans do not show up. I believe one of the main reasons that Donald Trump and MAGA wants to force this shutdown is because Adelita Grijalva, once she becomes officially the Congresswoman, will sign that discharge petition and demand the release of the Epstein files through a House floor vote. And by shutting the government down and not showing up Monday and Tuesday, MAGA Mike is going to try to avoid swearing in Congresswoman Adelita Grijalva. Again, let's just go through what these new documents from Epstein's estate detailing his daily schedule look like. That's where these documents come from. So you take a look at November 27th, 2017 right here, and you'll see it says lunch with Peter Thiel. Then there's a departing via JetBlue, a flight right there. The redactions are victims and survivors. That's why some of these are redacted, or potentially to protect the identities of potential victims and survivors, is what the House Oversight Committee wrote. The Democratic House Oversight Committee wrote. Then there is dinner and award ceremony at Cipriani Wall Street, a very fancy banquet hall there. When you go look at February 16th, 2019, you'll see it says breakfast with Steve Bannon, and then it says breakfast with Reed Weingarten right there. More on Bannon in a moment. Then you look at Friday, December 5th, 2014, and it says to be determined, tentative breakfast party with Bill Gates. Invited Ron Barron and Josh Harris, awaiting reply. Then it says December 6, 2014, New York Zorro, Gregory Riches on holiday in Aruba, December 6 through 13. Reminder, Elon Musk to island, December 6th. Is this still happening? In other words, a trip appeared to be being set up between Jeffrey Epstein and Elon Musk. We don't know if the trip took place or what happened. It's just in the documents right there. Musk's name is right there. Again, a great find by the House Oversight Committee. So the more and more it looks obvious that Donald Trump is covering up for his rich friends who donated to his campaign. And who've given him money. You take a look right here at this passenger manifest as well, May 12th, 2000 right here, and you see Prince Andrew, a bodyguard, and someone named Adam Perilang is on a new flight manifest from Teterboro, which is a airport in New Jersey for private jets like the Epstein plane, and it's going to West Palm Beach right there. That's a notable find as well. The Oversight Dems write, redactions are to protect the identities of Epstein survivors out of caution. It is notable, right, that back on July 8th of 2025, Elon Musk said that Bannon is in the Epstein files. Also, of course, you remember a few months back, Elon Musk said, time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. Mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. Well, it also looks like Elon's name is in those files as well. You may remember the reporting back from October 16, 2021 by Salon and others. Steve Bannon contacted Jeffrey Epstein over worries he would flip on Trump. New book claims, you were the only person I was afraid of during the campaign, Bannon allegedly told Jeffrey Epstein during a meeting. That reporting from October 16, 2021 by Tom Baggioni seems to be pretty prescient in what we've now learned. Now, how is Donald Trump responding to this news today? Well, Donald Trump says he will be releasing the files. Well, the Amelia Earhart files, that is, not the Epstein files. Trump goes, I have been asked by many people about the life and times of Amelia Earhart. Such an interesting story, and I would consider declassifying and releasing everything about her, in particular, her last fatal flight. She was an aviation pioneer, the first woman to fly across the Atlantic Ocean and achieve many other aviations first. And Donald Trump says, I will release all government records related to Amelia Earhart and her final trip. No, we want you to release the Epstein files is what we want you to release. There's about 3 to 4 terabytes of it. And what's on there must be absolutely horrific. If by you thinking that the way you're behaving now is better than releasing what's in those files, that tells me a lot.
Cozy Earth's pajamas and blankets are so soft, so breathable, and so cute you'll start planning your evenings around them. I've got their bamboo stretch knit pajamas, and let me tell you, the first time I slipped them on, I could not believe how light and cool they felt. They've got this luxurious drape, and they honestly sleep degrees cooler than cotton. I used to just throw on whatever for bed, but now this has become my cozy all-day set. It is that good. And the bubble cuddle blanket, wow. Mine lives on the couch and it's basically my go-to for everything. Reading, binging shows, or quick naps. The textured bubble design looks amazing, but what gets me is the softness. It just makes lounging feel elevated. And just so you know, Cozy Earth stands by their quality. Their blankets come with a 100-night sleep trial and a 10-year warranty. And their apparel, it's backed by a lifetime guarantee. So yeah, they mean it when they say it's made to last. Go to CozyEarth.com and use code Meidas at checkout for up to 40% off your new favorite pajama set and blanket. That's CozyEarth.com, code Meidas, M-E-I-D-A-S. And if you get a post-purchase survey, let them know you heard about Cozy Earth right here. Elevate your downtime with Cozy Earth.
And of course, we've already reported on what was in that birthday book, not only Donald Trump's letter. Now Donald Trump claims it was a forgery of a birthday card by a time-traveling forger of Donald Trump who went back in time to plant it in the Epstein birthday book where they talk about enigmas and secrets and a bunch of really creepy stuff. But in that birthday book, there was a lot of other stuff as well, right? Friends of Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago and Epstein holding a big check that said like $22,500 of a Donald Trump purchase for a depreciated woman that Jeffrey Epstein was going to hand over. That's what they found to be humorous at the time. There was creepy cartoons that looked like they were drawing Mar-a-Lago with little girls being groomed when they were like given lollipops and then performing sexual acts on Jeffrey Epstein in cartoon form in front of a cartoon that looked like Mar-a-Lago. So a bunch of really despicable stuff there. By the way, I had the opportunity to interview Democratic Congresswoman-elect Grijalva, Adelita Grijalva, and she told me basically that MAGA Mike's refusing to swear her in right now. And she wonders, is it because I'm the 218th signature on the discharge petition to release the Epstein files? Folks, this looks more and more and more like the Jeffrey Epstein shutdown. The Jeffrey Epstein shutdown. Here, play this clip.
So the latest is, I was looking at the example of now Representative Walkinshaw from Virginia, who was elected 2 weeks ago Tuesday, and that following Wednesday, less than 24 hours, was sworn in, and with unofficial results. It literally says so in, the congressman who was introducing him, like, here's unofficial results, but it's not disputed, and it was approved without objection. So for me, this Chicana from Tucson, apparently the rules have now changed in 2 weeks, and we're being asked for official results. And there's conversations with our Secretary of State, Fontes. And so I'm sort of wondering why in 2 weeks the rules are so different. And maybe it has something to do with the fact that I'm number 218. I don't know.
Now, I would be remiss if I did not show you this clip, especially knowing that Steve Bannon's name was in that files. Remember when Steve Bannon held this event back on July 11th of 2025, where people showing up at this right-wing event, they were having this meeting with Bannon, and Bannon said, do you believe that the DOJ and FBI right now have any credibility left to pursue the Epstein case? And this is what one of the guests suggested. Here, play this clip.
Agree with a special prosecutor, has to be an independent special prosecutor, has to take over. Do you believe that DOJ and FBI right now, with the guys who we're all close to, Pam Bondi, Dan Bongino, Kash Patel, do you think they have any credibility left to pursue this?
No, and I'll tell you exactly why, Steve, because in 2016, we trusted the plan with Trump. But now Trump has become the deep state. The exact thing we voted him in.
Why do you say he's become the deep state?
What is more deep state than covering up for pedophiles? Why would you go to that island? Why? Tell me, why would you go to that island? Why would you go on the plane?
And then finally, as I mentioned at the outset, Democratic Congress member Robert Garcia, he says that in terms of subpoenaing individuals to show up before this House Oversight Committee, Steve Bannon is in his sights. Here, play this clip.
Congressman, can you give us a sense of where else you might cast your net? I've asked a few members of Congress about this a few times this week already. Is Steve Bannon in your sights? He says he has 15 hours of footage of Jeffrey Epstein. There are some finance guys here in the city of New York who we know, because of some of the reporting and revelations around this, who already we know have had a relationship with him. Are there other people the lawmakers are going to subpoena, seek to have testify, visit Capitol Hill? Where does this go next?
Well, absolutely. I mean, look, right now we are working on a lot of different avenues to get information. Obviously, you had mentioned earlier, we're right now working and trying to get information from the Epstein Estate, which likely is in possession of this so-called birthday book that has not just a note from Donald Trump, but others as well. So that's going to be critical. And there are other documents the Epstein Estate might have that we're right now evaluating. And so that's going to be an important piece of it. Look, we also have a active whistleblower program. There are folks we know, not just in the Department of Justice and the FBI, but others in business and New York, and like you said, within some New York circles and other places that have information that we want to access. And so we're right now actively working on not just different ways of getting the information, subpoena power, working with those Republicans that actually want to be bipartisan and get to the truth. All of it is on the table. But I also don't want to minimize what we were able to do last week for the American public. I mean, we won a bipartisan subpoena of the full Epstein files, unredacted, from the Department of Justice. And that was done in a way where some Republicans, we got them to break and join us. And so that needs to happen immediately. And James Comer in the next few days needs to issue that subpoena.
Congressman, could you?
Now, I should also mention that the House Oversight Democrats, this is not a partisan investigation. The Democrats also posted that they found other information here. Here are pages naming Bill Clinton and Larry Summers. The Clinton document was already public, he says, in connection with flights and flight manifests. But people knew that Clinton was on that flight. So it's nothing new to begin with, but it's the Democrats just releasing this information, regardless of who it is. Here it is. We all want the release of the Epstein files. MAGA Republicans want the Epstein government shutdown right now. We'll keep you posted every step of the way here on the MeidasTouch Network. Thank you for watching. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.